Hello, Facebook friends. Few things I want to share, but as always, come on in and breathe. I am on my iPhone. I'm using my selfie stick because this way, if my arm gets tired, I can't rant too long. But for now, just come on in and breathe. Thank you for listening, whether you enjoy this live, because it won't be too long, or by replay. K.McMillan, the entrepreneur. So always, whatever I do, I invite you to not only take a breath as you're doing it, but to also come present as you're listening so you can hear with your ears, your mind, and the energy. So even though I'm ranting, this is a great time just to remember to take a breath and breathe and pause and slow down, as I say, to speed up success. So I'm thinking, and I'm a little late today because we just did our Yinpreneur pilgrimage, and gratitude is the first power pillar. So very much about gratitude and all that comes with. I love it, the energy of it, the power of it. Say hi, who's ever here. I see some folks showing up. Thank you, and I'm glad. So hi. And so I'm very much about gratitude, and I want to be clear about that. But I also want to share some other thoughts and feelings that are coming up. And I'm about being transparent. I'm about sharing what's really showing up. And maybe there's others who feel the same way, so this will give you a place to connect. So we know that this is Thanksgiving in the U.S. And why I was dragging my feet a little, and I kind of write Happy Thanksgiving, and honestly, I'm not feeling very genuine about it. And here's what comes up for me. One, and I hope that I'm getting more enlightened, and not that I'm just getting cynical here as I get older, but the whole concept of these, as I call them, the Hallmark holidays, kind of gets to me. So many of the holidays that we celebrate are things and practices that should be daily for us. So I do love the connection, the good food, and just coming together, especially when it's really working. We love that part. It's beautiful. Whatever brings you, your friends, and your family together, enjoy. It really works. Sometimes not so much, because you have to be with your family and they're stressed out, and you have to do a whole lot of yoga or meditation before you get there, and a whole lot to decompress. But if it's genuine, I love it. If it feels forced, it gets to me. And actually, and I loved it because I saw Michelle P.W.'s live this morning, and I just communicated with her in a little of the background, and the whole concept of not only are we not getting into the thankful part of Thanksgiving, the stores are already selling Christmas. So we're not even pausing for the best part of this Hallmark holiday, the gratitude and the Thanksgiving. Another rant, though, and this one is actually more serious, and this one really gets to me. You know, when I was younger, hello, who's ever coming in, and welcome. When I was younger, we were taught Columbus discovered America and all these other things. I didn't believe it then, and we now know that those aren't truths. Well, Thanksgiving is one of these holidays that I am pressed to celebrate it now that I know better. Can I celebrate Thanksgiving and still honor my indigenous brothers and sisters? I'm having a real struggle with that one. So, because I'm not as much into the Hallmark part, and it has to come naturally, and sometimes I like to go out rather than have to cook, go to somebody else's place, so it's always not the work on our household. I'm getting a break this year. But I just, that's another part of it. How am I honoring my brothers and sisters? How am I honoring especially my indigenous brothers and sisters if I kind of go out about this unintentionally, like Happy Thanksgiving, this is all about these great pilgrims? Not. And then, of course, there's the turkeys. I don't eat much meat anyway. I can't say that I'm totally vegetarian, and I do still like salmon. But once you get to know more and you actually see the birds as animals, I remember my daughter, who may watch this later, she was really healthy. No added salt, no added sugar for the first few years of her life, which meant we were really shopping at Whole Foods and going to places. I actually made a lot of food fresh at home. I dried the foods and pureed the foods. And so every once in a while she'd have some form, it was probably closer to some form of a chicken nugget than actual chicken, because my then husband, he went through whole macrobiotic stages, so there wasn't a whole lot of meat in our house, especially when she was younger. The first time she bit into someone else's, a chicken with a bone in it, if I could have captured her face on camera, it's like we betrayed her. She's eating an animal friend, and it did not go well. Changed a bit since then, still conscientious about it, but this is how we feel. And so I don't want to be unintentional. Hi, Desi. Thanksgiving to me is only about family. About the pilgrims. I'm so with you, Desi. Exactly. It is about that. And I started it saying it's about the family. It's about the coming together. But I want to be intentional about that. And so I want to, even if I come on, I haven't even said Happy Thanksgiving. I usually speak about just giving and thanks. Because my indigenous friends, because of the animals, and frankly, when you go global, it's a U.S. holiday. Most of my people aren't even probably even celebrating that today. When you go global, remember, it's a U.S. holiday. So, okay, that's my rant. I want to be intentional. I want to be respectful. I've got to find a balance of that. So at least as I say it out loud, I know I am balancing this respect. I am clear that Thanksgiving as we know it, just like Columbus discovering America, is a myth. So we do want to take the best parts of it. And that's why when I rant and say they're already doing Christmas, the best part of it is gratitude. When you're sitting in their marketing meetings, these large companies in these retail stores, what happened to the gratitude part? Other than Black Friday and Cyber Monday, is there any other way that they can really show it? And I'm going to be looking for companies that get that part, because I really want to resonate with that in our world. And especially now, we need a whole nother energy. The guy who calls himself president couldn't get by with just pardoning the poor turkeys without making a slam. So we need to breathe, we need to release, be intentional, be respectful. I may even go Friday morning to some local vegans and celebrate with them. And I believe they're going to do a vegan brunch and then head out and maybe go to an animal shelter. Be with that energy. We want to balance what's going on. We want to be respectful. We want to be respectful for our people, those people who really didn't even want to own the land, just lived the land. If we would still be back with their practices, the indigenous practices, so much of what's happening now would never happen. It wouldn't be this level of craze and anger and grabby and disrespect. So I promised that I would bitch and breathe. So now I'm going to breathe and just close it by saying, be respectful, be intentional. As you say your grace, your prayers, light your candles. I personally will not only be thankful for what I've received, I will be thankful to those who have not received, and thankful to those who have suffered through and are still giving their best. The beginnings of our nation, which was not empty when those folks showed up. It was already inhabited, and I want to honor those people. Thank the animals that give their lives. Let's not waste. Hi, Harley. Stay in gratitude always. Exactly. Thank you. That's so you. So 3 practices, or 2 tips first before I do the practices. And then I'm going to share the practices that I share in our pilgrimage. I do 3 practices for each of the 12 pillars. We shared the first 5 in our Facebook group. Number one is gratitude. I practice gratitude daily is the power pillar, the yinpreneur power pillar, and I know many of you can relate to that. Yes, thank you. So, two tips before I give you the three practices. One is I want you to remember that gratitude isn't only something you share with others. We want to really be mindful to share it with ourselves. We forget that sometimes. We forget that we deserve the gratitude as much as we may share it with others. Happy, thankful for all things. Yes, Renee, there. I love that. I may be just saying, quoting you and re-quoting you. I love that. Happy, thankful for all things. Thank you. Because in that way, I can be intentional. Thank you for that, Renee. That way I can be intentional rather than disrespectful. We can stay with the true energy. So, tips. Thankful, grateful is not only for others, it's for you. So remember that, right? And when I give you the three tips, there'll be some ways to practice that. Another is, it's not only when it's easy, right? It's not only when things seem to go your way or somebody gives you something. We want to learn to be grateful. So, and I'm not talking about turn the other cheek or suffering through. That's not what I mean. Sometimes it may just be as simple, I'm going to try to be grateful. It's about changing the energy in your body, changing the energy in your spirit, changing the energy in your mind, so we don't slip into resentment or anger as things happen, so you can change your energy. It can also just get you to refocus. So one, gratitude is also for you, not simply for everybody else. Two, gratitude isn't only when things go your way. Oftentimes, something will go awry, and I want to bitch about it, and then I follow it through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. If that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. So I can really be thankful. I don't even have to fake it. Really, it happened the way it worked best. So I try to be at trust with that. So remember yourself. So the three tips, and these are just three practices that you can practice in your life. You can journal around. So this is about action, or it's about just the being and doing, right? The yinpreneurs coming out of our head into our hearts and being with the practice. Live a life of abundance through appreciation. Thank you, Harley. Really key, very key. And that is so you with your work and your family. Thank you for sharing that, Harley. So one is start your day with gratitude. Sometimes I can be specific as I first wake up. Other times I can't be specific, and all I can say is I'm grateful. And before I move, before I get busy, before I do anything else, I will say that quietly in my head, if not softly through my mouth. The other is, and the third tip is really going to have you expand on that. The second tip is the language of gratitude. And this, when you practice this one, you will find you changing the way you speak to people, even if they not resonating for you, or they're annoying you or hurting you. So, and you come from a place of gratitude. This isn't always necessary gratitude for what you receive, but this is also about the gratitude that you express. In other words, this is my core. Gratitude is one of my values. I'm practicing it no matter what. Now, that may or may not be a daily thing. There's going to be days because it's practice. We don't master that. But to be in practice, to use that language. So check your language. When you may have gone to say something that wasn't in a more grateful energy, change the wording and just see how the gratitude language shows up. Because you'll see when you take it past just thank you. It's a huge way. There's so many other words. And just challenge yourself to be in that language. Sometimes it may be a little challenging. It may be, well, I'm grateful for this, but, because when we're in the practice stage, like I said, not always so easy to be grateful for all that shows up. But we can be in that energy. Thanksgiving is about coming together and being with family. Not all families get along. You don't always resonate with everybody in the room. So just remind yourself, what are you grateful for, rather than focusing on what's not working or not feeling so good. Thirdly, be with that gratitude with, as we say, sensuous woman. Be with that gratitude with all of your senses. This isn't something that just comes out of your mouth. It's not just a quick thought. When it's a deep feeling, you literally feel it resonate. I mean, feel it resonate. If you put your hands on your heart, for example, or your abdomen while you're expressing gratitude, of course, because of the words, because of the breath, you will feel it. And I want you to feel it deeply. If you don't really believe it, don't say it. Find some other language. But when you do say it, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel what it's like before you say it, feel it as you say it, and after you say it, just notice. Bring all of your senses. Just scan your body as how it feels when you're in this practice. Hi, Gloria. Love you. Thanks for the reminder. I am grateful for every little... Let's see. Oh, they're slipping by. Let me see if I can grab that. Thank you for every little thing, though it is not always easy. Absolutely. And I hope I'm making that part clear. And actually, that was the second tip. It's when it's not easy, that's when you really want to practice it. It changes up your energy. It's not just about others, right? It changes up your energy, which is where it all starts. And sometimes it just be finding some small thing you're grateful for, but change up that energy. Easy when it's working, great practice when it's not. Harley, great message with positive energy, my friend. Have to run, but love your message. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Enjoy you and your family for this festive giving time, Harley. Appreciate you. See you. So breathe with that. So the 3 practices are, and there's other tips. 1, remember yourself when you do it. Remember, it's not only when it's easy. The 3 practices, whether you journal them or practice them, are start your day, have the language of gratitude, and really bring all of your senses to it. So then it's genuine, it's authentic. And here's the thing. It's like a gift you give. If you expect something back, it doesn't have the same value. When you just give it because it's you and your core value, then you're really feeling it. So feel it. Be with it. How does it sound? How does it feel? How does it look? Right? And don't just look for somebody's response. Look to yourself. How does it show up in you? So, thanks for listening to my rant. Please be intentional as you go forward to remember our Indigenous brothers and sisters and our little animals who are giving their lives. I sometimes laugh and say, I don't know if I have carrots and vegetarian in my... How do I know the carrot's not suffering too? So don't waste whatever you have. Enjoy it to the fullest. Give all of your grace and gratitude as you enjoy it to be in this respectful place, to be in this intentional place. So grateful for you being in my community. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Go forth and enjoy your family. And for those that stress you out, be grateful that you still have people to enjoy together. Breathe with them. And if you don't get pissed off, be grateful for the fact that, hey, I can do this. I can be in gratitude because I'm grateful for me and my practice. So K.McMillan, Yinpreneur, Retreat Muse, helping you to get out of your head into your heart and body in this place of pure and deep wisdom, deep knowing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I am always grateful today, tomorrow, and every day before and after for every minute that you take to be here in spirit as the replay in energy. I am better for it. Thank you. Namaste.